RaisingArrows.net here, and I want to share my holiday stock up, the things that I am buying extra of to have for the holidays. I've actually started doing this. I've probably been doing this now since September. I kind of had this little niggling in my head clear back at the end of August that I needed to start stockpiling a bit. I needed to start putting away some things. I probably needed to grab some holiday things ahead of time. And so I have actually been doing this since the end of August. But I wanted to share with you some of the things that I have been stockpiling that are specifically holiday things. And a lot of those have to do with our various holiday menus. And so I'll be sharing about the different celebrations that we have every single year around this time of year, and the things that I'm buying to go along with that. So first of all is Thanksgiving. Here at the end of November, that's what everybody's thinking about, is Thanksgiving. We have 4 different Thanksgiving celebrations that we'll be doing. One is a traditional feast with my family. One is soups, and one is taking somebody out to eat. And then the final one is a traditional meal at our home on Thanksgiving Day. And so I purchased 1 turkey, and then I bought 1 for later. I don't have to be in charge of everything for my family's meal that we're having all together, my extended family. Somebody's taking care of individual dishes. I am in charge of the sweet potato casserole, the corn casserole, and the cranberry celebration salad. And all of those are on my blog, so I'll link those in the description. All of those recipes are there. So that's what I'm in charge of. So somebody else is getting the green bean casserole. Somebody else is doing rolls and the ham and the turkey and things like that. So I don't need a turkey for that celebration. And then with the soup celebration, the soup Thanksgiving, I am just going to bring like the flavored oyster crackers with the ranch flavoring on them, and maybe a relish tray. And then we're taking my husband's mom out to eat, so I don't have to do anything there. And then Thanksgiving Day itself, we are going to have the traditional meal here. So like I said, I bought a turkey for that, but the turkey was 87 cents a pound. So I went ahead and bought 2. We are currently at Aldi, it's 87 cents a pound, and they're limiting it now to 1. They did have a limit 2, now they have a limit of 1, which, I mean, doesn't mean you can't go back and get another one, and that's what I did. It said limit 2, I bought 1, I went back and got another one, and because we had the room in our freezer, and I won't be using it for Thanksgiving, I figured it would be a great supplemental meat later on down the road. And I do that with a lot of things, like St. Patrick's Day, I go ahead and buy extra corned beef because it's a good price, and so I keep that in the freezer. I bought an extra ham. At some point, I ran across a good deal on ham, and I bought a ham, and so our Christmas ham has been in the freezer for months, and so I don't need to buy anything like that. But when the ham goes on sale, I will probably buy another one to have for Easter. And then at our house, we usually have like rolls, 7-layer salad. We'll have another sweet potato casserole. We'll have another corn casserole. We'll do a Granny's dressing, which I also have on the blog. It is tasty, tasty. We'll do a pumpkin cake, and we'll do just the traditional feast that we usually do. So I have been buying the ingredients for those traditional foods since September to make sure that I had them on hand. And we've done pretty well. In fact, I went ahead and put together the sweet potato casserole the end of October, and it's been in the freezer. So all I have to do is add the topping. I will do the corn casserole here really soon. And I don't, that way I'm not running myself up to the last minute with these things. I actually, have them done and ready to go. And that has always been my mode of operation, is to try to get as much done so that I can have a relaxing Thanksgiving. Somewhere I have our Thanksgiving preparations. I think it might be on a Facebook Live. See, I end up with stuff all over the place, the blog, the podcast, YouTube, all kinds of places, and I'm never real sure what I've talked about here in any other place for that matter. But so if I'm repeating myself, sorry. But I thought you guys might be interested also to hear about some of these celebrations as well. There's another thing that I have been collecting since September, and that is cranberry juice and pineapple juice. And the reason for that is that my hot punch, also a recipe on the blog, is made from those two ingredients. And sometimes in the past, I have had trouble finding those two juices. And so I went ahead and I bought enough to make sure that we would have plenty of go-arounds of hot punch. And the first time that we have hot punch during the holiday season is on our decorating day. Decorating day is probably going to be on Saturday after Thanksgiving this year. And my son and his fiance are coming. My daughter from college will be here. And then the rest of us, my mom may be here. I think my sister and her family are going to stop by for a while. And so we will have a charcuterie board with relish tray, and so I'll make sure that I have all of that stuff, and I have been stockpiling that stuff as well, pickles and things like that. I have some little smokies that I've kept back. I bought extra bacon to do bacon wrapped water chestnuts, and then I have our hot punch supplies that we'll put there. I've been buying hot cocoa. My kids like to have a hot cocoa party at some point during December, so I have those things. And decorating day, basically what we do is we play Christmas music, we decorate for Christmas, and we have all of these festive foods. It's the first time we have hot punch. It's the first time we have fudge, which, speaking of fudge, I have also been stockpiling marshmallow cream and semi-sweet chocolate chips. Not that those are usually difficult to find, but I wanted to make sure that I had them, and there was no problem with me getting those. And then after decorating day, we just go into our regular holiday season, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are two big celebrations for us. Christmas Eve, we do our Christmas Eve service, which is on the blog. I'll put a link in the description to that. And on Christmas Eve, we have a pretty big amount of Christmas cookies that I've been making throughout that week, and we'll use those cookies to give away to people to eat Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And so I will have Christmas cookies, and I need to start looking at what I need for that, but I've got oatmeal, I've got chocolate chips, I've got sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk. So I've been trying to make sure that I have the ingredients that go with these individual celebrations. Back to Christmas Eve, we will do the Christmas Eve service. We will have a charcuterie board. We will have different meats and cheeses. That's always something we do on Christmas Eve. We'll have the Christmas cookies, and we'll just have a nice time as a family. And then Christmas morning, we will have a crock pot casserole that's just put together and easy for me to manage, for everybody to eat. And then we'll have our traditional meal sometime mid-afternoon with ham and potatoes and all the fixins that go with our Christmas meal. So what I would encourage you to do right now, and hopefully you've been already doing this, because things have gotten a bit sparse, my friends. I don't know how they are in your neck of the woods, but our Aldi, the shelves are kind of bare. There's some things that I am shocked are missing from week to week. You're never real sure what's not going to be there. We had weeks of no peanut butter, and then lots of peanut butter. We have no baking mix right now. There was no bread yesterday, and that is one thing. I am going to need white bread for my dressing that I make, and I really hate to make fluffy white bread from my bread recipe and then put it in a dressing, but that may be what I end up having to do. But I'm guessing Walmart will have bread. I don't know. Usually it seems like Walmart is doing fairly well. They've had some bare toilet paper shelves and some bare like disposable plates and things like that. Not a lot going on there. But they are where I ended up finally finding the cranberry and the crushed pineapple that I needed for the cranberry salad. I couldn't get it at Aldi. It just was not coming in. And so they kept saying it was going to, and it just hasn't. So there's very little canned fruit at Aldi, and not the canned fruit I need. And then very little pasta. Like I said, there was no bread. And so things are they're kind of sparse, and they're hit and miss. And that is why you need to go ahead and shop now for the different holiday celebrations all the way through New Year's. We already have our sparkling grape juice that we use at New Year's. And I'm going to go ahead, my son will have his 13th birthday on New Year's Day. I'm going to go ahead and get the things I need for his birthday as well. Because you just don't know when things aren't going to be in. And if you wait till the last minute, you may not get anything. The other side of this too is when you see a good deal on something, try to get more of it than you might need right now, because you don't know what things are going to be like in the future. So those are the things that I have been adding. I've gotten some cases of beans. One thing I did was get some beans to go with the ham and bean soup, because when we eat our ham at Christmas, we will turn that into ham and bean soup. And I would encourage you to think outside the box too with your food. Do like what our grandparents did and our great grandparents, and look at how many different ways you can use up things. One thing that I've been doing for the past, 6-9 months is when we have bread crusts or bread that maybe people aren't liking as well, I'll either turn it into bread pudding or I will make it into croutons, and the kids absolutely love it. It's like a brand new product. You know, they may not want the heel of the bread, but they do want it when it becomes a crouton. So I've been just drying it out in the oven with some butter and some garlic and parmesan, and the kids just gobble them up. And so look at ways that you can reuse and repurpose the things that you are eating. Don't allow yourself to just throw out leftovers. Repurpose those. We have different things, like right now we've got a thing of corn that's about this big that nobody wants to finish off. I have a thing of green beans about this big in the freezer already. I'm going to throw the corn in with the green beans, and that's going to be stew at some point, because I hate to let those things go to waste. And a lot of us for a lot of years have been allowing those things to go to waste because we could. And at this point, I think maybe it's time for us to change our mentality back to the frugal ways. When I first got married, I was very frugal because we just didn't have anything, and I had to make everything stretch. And I got kind of lax over the years. I got less frugal over the years, and I'm realizing now that needs to change. I will also be doing a video about Christmas gifts and how we're handling Christmas gifts this year, so that you can kind of hear we're doing something a little bit different there as well, that's a little bit more on the frugal side and a little bit more purposeful, if you will. We're just trying to be very good stewards of what we have, and that is really ultimately what my goal is here. God has blessed us richly. God has given us a roof over our head. He's given us the ability to buy food at this point. And so I want to be a good steward of those things that he has blessed us with, and not ever take them for granted. And so when I can, I will add to, what I have to feed our family. I know that if we lose electricity, I can still feed our family. If we have a really bad storm and I can't get out to the grocery store, it'll be okay. I don't need to be one of the crazies running to the grocery store trying to get milk or whatever. I know that we will be fine, and that's really a goal of mine, is to be as prepared as we can be for whatever may happen, and to be good stewards of what we have, not to overbuy, not to underbuy, and to be generous, to be able to be generous to others, and then at the same time take care of my own family. So that's what I would encourage you to do, and that kind of tells you a little bit about the celebrations that we have coming up, as well as the foods that we eat. Like I said, check out the recipes below. These are some yummy things that we enjoy every single year. And also what I'm buying and what I'm adding to my larder and also my pantry. And so I hope that you enjoyed this. I would love to hear from you, as well as what other things would you like me to talk about. I know I talk a lot about homeschooling. I'm trying to add in some more homemaking type things. I talk probably more about homemaking on the podcast than I do here, but you should really check out raisingarrows.net. I've got links to the podcast there. I have a lot of resources for large family homeschooling and homemaking, so check that out at raisingarrows.net, and leave me some comments in the comment section about things that you would like me to talk more about, so that I kind of have some guidance here on this channel. All right, we will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.